Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it is the last day of Avonlea week. So I thought that I would talk about Felix and Izzy. Now I did like 3 or 4 months ago. I did a video on Felix and Izzy, and I pretty much explained in that video that they should have ended up together by the end of season 7. If you haven't watched that video, please go check it out. But anyway, on to the video. Felix and Izzy explained. Alright. Felix is in the show all the way through, where through all 7 seasons, he may not be in every single episode, but he is in all 7 episodes. In all 7 seasons, I mean. Izzy Pettibone doesn't actually come on the series till season 4, episode 2, when her father takes a teaching job in Avonlea. Her and Felix sort of clash at the moment, but she does end up socking him in the nose. And when Mr. Pettibone decides that they'll be leaving, she says that she has a new friend, Felix. I socked him in the nose, because that's how she makes friends. Now, when we first meet Izzy, she dresses, like a boy would in those times, because in those times, girls wore dresses and skirts. She wears pants and everything because, well, she has 2 older brothers, and after her mother died, her father probably just didn't really raise her like a girl, which she's fine with till season 5 when she gets dressed. Now, Felix and Izzy do become really good friends through seasons 4 and 5. But when we get to season 6, there's some not so subtle hints that they care about each other and they're more than just friends. In the episode A Foxtail, Izzy supports him in the fox farm even if it may not be the best idea. And she's hurt when he goes into business with Nat Lester. Now, if I went into business with one of my friends and then they just throw me off in a way for someone who can get the business going, I would be hurt too. But the way she's hurt, you can tell that they mean more than friends. And she does help him get out of the bind and helps him hunt foxes and does apologize to him. And in the end of the episode, they hold hands, which friends do, but when a guy and girl hold hands and they're just maybe when they're just friends they do that, but as Mallory said in season 10 of Heartland, no one is just friends with a cowboy, but that's for another episode. That's for another video. And then in the episode Comings and Goings, when Sarah comes, her and Felix are both at the train station. Felix to welcome his cousin Sarah back to Avonlea, and Izzy to pick up her brother Arthur. Now, during a scene in the general store, if Sarah is in the general store, so is Izzy, and she just says that her and Felix seem like really good friends. And Izzy does say that to him, I'm only a friend, which does means she is obviously in love with him, and so is he, but he doesn't show it. So, and then Sarah gets this big idea to write love letters, and if you know Sarah's experience with writing love letters, Felicity got her to do that for Gus, and so on and so forth. She did that with Constable Zach, or not Constable. I've been watching way too much When Calls the Heart. Marshall Zach Morgan. It doesn't really turn out so well. So, anyway, Izzy writes a love letter to Felix, but Sarah jazzes it up a little bit, and Felix thinks it is from the new housekeeper who is working at the hotel. So he tries to get Felicity to write a love letter to her, but Felix, but she says no because she doesn't want to get involved, which good for you, Felicity, good for you. And eventually he gets Sarah to write it, but Sarah has it written in his handwriting, which is good, without telling Izzy. Why did I almost say Felicity? I don't know why. And eventually they meet at the lighthouse, and Felix thinks that it is Miss Stieg. I am not at all part German, I don't think, but I cannot speak German for the life of me. And it becomes a whole mess. Now, in an earlier episode, I don't know what the episode is called, but it's the one where the men have to make a basket lunch, and the bachelors pretty much, the eligible young ladies bid on the bachelors' lunches, and Felix has Thelma Bugle stuck on him, and he doesn't like that. And Izzy asks Miss Stacy if she bet on him, which would make a mistake, and she decides to, but Janet eventually decides that she would. Felix eventually explains his dilemma to his mother, and she says that she will outbid anyone who bids on him. So she outbids both of them. And according to the agreement, Felix makes dinner for his mother. And before this, we do get a scene where Pierre Lapierre kind of draws in the flower heart and Izzy and hints that it is Izzy. And he does say that opposites attract, which is, according to him, the first law of love, but it's also the first love of chemistry. Sorry, I love chemistry. But that is not important right now. And eventually his father sees this, so he invites Izzy over for dinner, says that Felix is making dinner for her. He knocks on the door, and she says that, or he answers the door. She says that, he's like, Izzy, what are you doing here? She's like, your father said you were making dinner for me. And he just smiles. Like, yeah, there's nothing really he can do, but he just smiles. And then we come to season 7, episode 2. Love may be blind, but the neighbors ain't. This is when we first get that hint that they try to make something more. So Felix asks Izzy permission, and he says, make it like an experiment, but she says that doesn't feel right, and she doesn't want it to happen like that. So, and Felix respects her decision, which is good for you, Felix. Good for you. But then Albert Wirtz and Donnie Lester ask Felix what happened, and Felix tells them that he does not want to he doesn't want to see what happened. So they spread around town that something did happen, and of course, Izzy gets mad at Felix because it's a lie. And eventually, Felix tries to tell Izzy that he didn't, and he even over the bullhorn says it, but Izzy is very reluctant to forgive him and doesn't actually forgive him until the third episode. It is the 4th episode, Woman of Importance, when her aunt comes. She decides to go to Boston. And Felix says that she can't go to Boston, and she says, oh, why can't I? He's like, that's not what I meant. I mean, just... And he does explain to her that... Then she just walks away. Then she says it'll be a whole new me, and then he turns around and tells her that he doesn't need a whole new you, and she doesn't need to change anything. He thinks she's perfect the way she is, and he says, don't go, stay here with me. And it makes... it's a very, very beautifully written scene, I think. And by the end of the episode, Izzy does say that there's only really one way to erase a white lie. And so they kiss. And then they walk off the station, which is kind of weird, but considering that Felix drove the wagon there, they just walk away and leave the wagon. So, that is Felix and Izzy. And that'll be it for Avonlea Week. Please stay tuned for next week for Walton Week. I am sounding like a robot now. I don't know why. But anyway, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, comment down below what your favorite Felix and Izzy moment is, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Alright, see you.